So on my last post, I spoke about my daughter's shift in perspective, which allowed her to kind of emerge from some of her own pain around Tim's cancer, and allowed her to see that a lot of other things are going on in the world. And when she compares his cancer and our family situation to those things that she sees happening elsewhere, she realizes that her situation isn't so bad. I posted that, and that came after like 14 months of her really experiencing a lot of pain, sometimes debilitating emotional pain, because of what he's been going through. But in posting that, I don't want to give the impression that it's not important to be present to your own pain. I started posting initially when Tim was first diagnosed because over the course of my life, I've worn a lot of hats that have allowed me to see things through a lot of different lenses. I've worn the hats of occupational therapist, manager, priest, and minister. I've been a spiritual student myself. I've been on the receiving end of therapy myself. And each role has required me to be present to some of the harder parts of life from different vantage points. And, sometimes it matters a whole lot that we can pop out of our own experience to compare and contrast with the experience of others, because it can liberate us from some of our own debilitating pain. Sometimes our path to freedom from that pain is turning inward in the direction of the pain and really just being still and present with it, because that's the way to healing and liberation. And I think that life is sort of a dance between going in and going without, going inside of ourselves and then moving back out and connecting with the world around us. And we draw lessons from both places. And the more we go in, the more we have the capacity to be present to what is outside of us. And the more we look around us on the outside with our eyes wide open, it can inform how we see things inside of ourselves. It can help us chart a course that we might not have otherwise charted. I know for me, a long time ago, when I was working as an occupational therapist, I felt really drawn to work in kind of the manual arts and manual healing modalities to really understand how the use of my own hands and the presence of my own being could help another person find healing. And what I found is that it really mattered how deeply into myself I was willing to go, because that, my own depth, allowed others to go in deeply themselves, and I really couldn't take other people places inside of themselves that I wasn't personally willing to go into myself. And that really was the beginning of me searching for a deeper path and a deeper way in, which eventually I found a way to navigate that inward path through Christian mysticism and working with teachers. There's a whole lot more I could say about that, and it wasn't all good, but it was really helpful for me at that point in my life. I'm getting ready to pass some people here, so I'm just going to be quiet for a minute. Hello.
Hi.
So, perspective. You know, it matters that we open our eyes wide to the landscape within. It also matters that we open our eyes wide to all that is taking place around us, both near and far. And I think if we get stuck in either direction, then life ceases to move forward for us. Things become stagnant, and looking without becomes a means by which we compare ourselves in the ugliest of ways and strive for those things outside of us that maybe aren't ours to strive for. When we look inward and we get stuck there, it can become all-consuming and become a pain unto itself versus a path of healing and transformation. So both feel totally essential. Both feel necessary to be fully present to. And there's all kinds of ways to be present to both. Some can be simply going on a walk like this. Some paths can be just, sitting still. I spent many a year learning how to cultivate the art of just sitting and being present to my own physical, emotional, and spiritual being. And I learned to go on adventures like I never thought were possible during that time, inward adventures, and adventures out into the greater world to connect with beings and places that were far beyond my physical location. So I think that's all I have to share today. Just wanted to share this reflection on perspectives and bring some more mindfulness to the fact that both the inward and the outward perspectives are important and necessary in their own ways. Okay. Happy Sunday, wherever you are in the world, or happy day, whatever day of the week it is when you're listening to this. Wishing you well and sending you much peace and love.